Hey kids. In today's episode, I just want to go over the notes that we took the other day on irrational numbers and why they're crazy. If you turn back to page 1 of your notes, we discussed rational numbers and we came up with the definition that any number that can be written in fraction form is rational. And then we discussed different types of rational numbers. On page 2, we now have a list of things to look for in a decimal, because decimals can be turned into fractions if they repeat in some sense. Repeat 0, repeat a single digit, repeat in a group. Then we can transform those into fractions. Next, we watched this Jim Carrey video from the movie Liar Liar. Let's take a look at that. So essentially, we're watching Jim Carrey beat the tar out of himself, and we're trying to equate that to irrational behavior. We don't know what comes next if you haven't seen this movie. So it's comical because he just runs around, tears his clothes off, slams his knee into that radiator over there. Yeah, I know what's coming. But he's hysterical, mental, crazy, wild, unpredictable, and chaotic, which is exactly what irrational numbers are like in a sense. So in our notes, we wrote down the things that we saw Jim Carrey do. He was mental, he was crazy, he was wild, unpredictable, and chaotic. What do you think the definition of an irrational number is based off of that example of a person being irrational? We said a number that just doesn't make sense, which is good. We wrote down the actual definition of irrational, which is any number that cannot be written in fraction form or as a fraction. And then we listed some examples, such as pi, the square root of any number that's not a perfect square. So we know our perfect squares, 1, 4, 9, 16, 25, so on. If you take the square root of 28, there is no square, like physical square, with an area of 28. That does not exist. So it can't be rational. Okay, it's a number. Radical 28 or the square root of 28 is a number. It's just not rational. Okay. And then we listed the golden ratio, which is phi, and we'll talk more about that, which actually does involve the ratio of like side lengths in a rectangle and the most pleasing aspect ratio, like your cell phone and computer screen you're looking at right now. Okay, so that was the basis or crux of the lesson, was on those things. We did also talk about the 5-step process and how to handle that, and there's other videos out there on how to do that. There's actually 2. So yeah, those are our notes.